Police found the remains of 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉 Young in northwest Charlotte on Friday, 8 months after the little girl was last seen.
This is very hurtful. It's an innocent child. I mean, what can a 4-year-old do?
The torment of that baby and the torment of this family right here. They looked for this baby months.
Detectives say they discovered her remains last week after family members and neighbors say they hadn't seen her in months.
It's even more difficult that this baby died at the hands of her mother, the person that gave her birth.
Investigators believe Malika Bennett killed her 4-year-old daughter, 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉 Young, back in early September.
Malika Bennett's relationship with her 4-year-old was an abusive one that ended with the little girl's death. And we found court records showing Bennett had been arrested last February on 3 counts of misdemeanor child abuse for allegedly leaving 3 other children, 12, 9, and 7 years old, alone for more than 24 hours. Those charges are still pending, but nothing compared to what she's facing now.
As we saw CMPD investigators go in and out of this house, Lieutenant Crum says life inside this home was an abusive environment.
The family actually allowed us to see where police discovered her body, and right now they're asking the community for prayers. Her neighbors tell us they hadn't seen the little girl in several months and became worried about her.
Corey Thomas lives across the street, and he says police had visited Bennett's home multiple times.
You never know what people are going through, so I don't want to pass judgment or whatever, but just a prayer for her, prayer for the extended family, prayer for her children, especially the one that we have close contact with, because she had been going through so much the last few weeks.
Family members gave us pictures and told us her name was 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉. At the vigil tonight, they held candles, shared memories, and offered prayers. Tonight, her grandfather broke down thinking about the last time he saw her.
I come over here and I seen her. She waved at me. Last time I seen her. 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉, I love you. I'll see you again. Amen. I love you.
Basic recap of some of the information we can share before taking any questions. So this investigation began early Friday morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning. Officers were called out to a residence in the 2700 block of Braden Drive. Someone reported that they believed that a 4-year-old girl had been missing for some time. We got the digging into the investigation. This 4-year-old victim, 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉 Young, we can identify for you now. People who knew and loved her knew her as Jelly. Had not been seen since going to visit her mother last September. So when officers get to the house, they speak with a resident there. They start having some concerns about the information that they're getting. They contact the missing persons unit, who initiates a missing persons investigation to find out where 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉 is. Very quickly, they became concerned that there may be foul play involved, so they contacted the homicide unit, and we also brought in the crimes against children unit. So this was really a full court press to find out where 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉 was. We knew we needed to determine where she was at. Certainly that's concerning when no one can account for a child for that period of time. So as we moved forward through the investigation, we started interviewing obviously her parents, people, friends, people that knew her, other people in her life. We had quite a number of people down here on Friday, and even as we were talking, more people were showing up that we didn't even reach out to. They heard we were looking into this, they were concerned for 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉, and they started showing up trying to share any information that they had that they thought could potentially help with finding what happened to her. So during these interviews, we eventually developed information that was sufficient for us to obtain a search warrant for the residents in the 2700 block of Braden Drive. Along with crime scene, we began processing the scene, and there we were able to recover human remains in the backyard of a 4-year-old girl. I can tell you today we believe those remains belong to 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉. Now, it's because of the investigation and as it's proceeding, it's going to take a little bit of time to be able to positively identify her, but I can tell you that the totality of the circumstances indicate it is her. Later in the evening, we charged 𝒂𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒉's mother, Malika Bennett, with murder, child abuse inflicting serious injury, as well as concealment of a death. I've worked homicide for most of the last 10 years. I can tell you that this case is deeply disturbing. It's disturbing to everyone who's worked at crime scene investigators, detectives, everyone involved in this case. Many of us are parents, and it's very difficult to understand how someone could do this to their child, kill their child, and bury them and move on with their life as if nothing happened. I mean, it's really, truly shocked everyone to their core that's had any involvement with this case. Now, it's very early on in the investigation. I can't answer a lot of your questions, but I'd like to try to take a couple of them right now.
Any word on how long those remains were in that property?
So we believe that 𝒂𝒊𝒍𝒍𝒔's been there since September. She went for a visit during that time frame, and we believe she's deceased sometime in that window. So early to September, of 2020.
Was the Department of Social Services aware of this, or were they involved in any previous things dealing with her,
So that's a question we certainly have, and we're looking into right now. Detectives are actually working on getting those records and going through those, so I defer to them because we haven't had a chance to look through all those records yet.
Brian, 𝒂𝒂𝒍𝒊𝒂𝒉's her father. Now, her biological father was not there, but was there a boyfriend or a stepfather in the home, and is he in the clear?
Yes, so there was another male resident at the Bragg Drive address. We can say definitively that he's not responsible for his death based on the investigation. We're able to alibi him.
And there's rumors that 𝒂𝒂💊💂 was kind of kept in like a dog kennel, or her conditions of her living situation was very poor. Could you say anything about that?
You know, I don't want to get into details yet because we're still interviewing other people, so we can't share all the details. What I can tell you is we've charged mom with child abuse, inflicting serious injury. It was an abusive environment, and ultimately resulted in her death.
Are you able to determine how she was killed?
That's something we're still waiting on the medical examiner's office to share with us. Obviously, we have information from interviews that are leading us in a particular direction, but the medical examiner's office can hopefully provide us with some information of scientific certainty as to what happened. But that's still pending right now.
We heard rumors that there were possibly complaints about foul odor in the days leading up to officers arriving. Were you able to confirm any of that? Neighbors called you all with concerns?
No, we don't have any information about that. There may be rumors. I don't know that that's consistent with the information that we found so far. I mean, there was no odor when we went there.
Excuse me, I don't know if this has already been covered, but has the mother had any history with law enforcement?
Mom has been involved with law enforcement in the past. I think she's got some arrest history I'm sure you guys saw, but nothing, obviously nothing to indicate this. It's nothing at all like this.
Anybody else?
Thank you, guys.
I ain't see no remorse. I ain't see no sad face.
Family, friends, and loved ones rallied outside the Mecklenburg County Courthouse following Bennett's first court appearance. They shared memories of 𝒂𝒊𝒍𝒊𝒂𝒉 and had a moment of silence for her.
𝒂𝒊𝒍𝒍𝒔 had to have a lip gloss. Her lip gloss had to be popping, and if it wasn't, she was going in the pocketbook to get it.
They looked for this baby months. They asked this mother, where was she? And the mother gave no answer. Oh, she was with another family member. And the other family members asked him, where was 𝒂𝒊𝒍𝒊𝒂? And they lied and said that they was with this family.
But she had family. So to cease all of that, all the questions, all the arguments that we all get into on Facebook with people because y'all want to ask questions that y'all know nothing about, this is us. We was out here. We all been with it.
Why was it important to be here today with the family and to call for justice?
Because she was failed. When we was all looking and we was all wanting to know where she was at and what was going on, they didn't want to tell us anything on the strength of, oh, she with her mother. But no, we was the family that loved him, was really worried about her. So yeah, they all feel her. At some point I feel like I did too, because I feel like I should have fought a little bit harder and she'd still be here with us.
How many warning signs would you need before you were questioning if your friend was over being a parent? I have questions.